Well, I think you called it. That certainly is a momentum builder. When you have the ball down on the 2-yard line, second down, and don't score, that's got to be a real downer for the F&M offense.
Let's go to Buster from Newark. I think he's back. Buster?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
That's good. I got a comment for the Swarthmore team, about the team. Coming from a quarterback's perspective, I'm a semi-pro quarterback. Knowing that they don't have their starting quarterback in, I think that the F&M defense is sitting on the fact that they're going to run the ball first and second down, and then going to open it up on third. I think it'd be a smart idea for them to come out first or second and then just go downfield.
We thank you for your comment, and Swarthmore scored their touchdown on a long 64-yard pass, and that was really about all of their offense for that first half. They had a couple other nice plays, but for the most part, their offense struggled, but their defense played great, and we've got a dandy here at halftime, tied at 7. And in just a second, we'll go down to Bill Komisaroff, who will have Peter Alvanos, the head coach, Swarthmore. Garnet Tide's got to be excited here. Tied at the half, and boy, what a huge defensive stop as they had first and goal. And the Swarthmore defense stepped up again. They had a great first half, and let's go down to Bill Komisaroff with Coach Alvanos.
Yeah, an out-of-breath Coach Alvanos. You were going crazy there. What a great job by your defense. You gave up the long drive. It looked like they're getting ready to score. Your defense comes up with a huge defensive stand.
Well, that's the thing we've been searching for all year is consistency, and our defense has done a great job. Now we're going to go in and see if we can straighten some things out on offense and hopefully move the ball down and get on top.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. Any quick adjustments you can think of that might offensively for the second half?
Well, we might come out and spread them out. We've been playing 2 tight ends majority of the first half. We might come out and try and go no tight ends and see how they adjust to that and see if we can take advantage of it.
All right, Coach, catch your breath, get inside, take 5.
All right, thank you.
Second half. Coach Alvanos, first-time head coach in his first year here at Swarthmore. Of course, the team riding that 25-game losing streak. They're going to the locker room now tied at 7 after the huge defensive stand there at the goal line. Boy, what an exciting first half of football here at Swarthmore College. Coming up here on our halftime show, we'll take a look at the highlights of this first half. We'll also talk to some of our armchair quarterbacks, and we'll get you caught up to date on all the scores from around the region in our tri-state matchups. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have our halftime show here from Swarthmore. You're watching the ECAC Game of the Week.
Founded in 1864 by the Religious Society of Friends, Swarthmore today is non-sectarian, yet still reflects many Quaker traditional values. It is a school where students are challenged not just to excel intellectually and academically, but also to equip themselves to help build a better society. Students enjoy not only a superb academic experience, but also one of the most beautiful college campuses in the country.
I can't believe you're going to have a baby. Do you remember sophomore year at spring break? Okay. Just think, in 2 years, I'm going to have a 2-year-old. You are going to make a great mom. This is so much more fun.
And welcome back to Swarthmore here. Our halftime score 7-7. What a beautiful fall afternoon in southeastern Pennsylvania. And we are very happy to be bringing you the ECAC Game of the Week. And we have an exciting one yet again. It's something, whenever Tri-State Media comes to town, you can be guaranteed that we're going to bring in you an exciting game. We've had some great games here. We've had some great games on our ECAC Game of the Week. And today, no exception as we go into the halftime locker room tied at 7. Swarthmore, a 25-game losing streak. It dates back to the last game of the 1995 season. They had troubles all last year. They went 0-10. They were outscored last year in a combined total of all their games, 564-54 in all of their games. That was last year in an 0-10 season. This year, so far, 0-5, but they feel like they've turned things around a little bit. It's a different attitude for this team this year, and they're in more games, and they feel like at least they're not giving up on some of these games, and certainly evident here today as they go into the halftime locker rooms tied at 7. We're going to go upstairs now to Greg Milligan to take a look at the halftime highlights and get Bill Marshall and Greg's analysis of this first half. Greg?
Well, thanks, Bill. Yeah, what a great first half, an exciting first half. 7-7 the score, and a huge defensive stop for this young Swarthmore team just before the half. And that really got them fired up going into the locker room. Now, I know that they've got a feel in that locker room that if they come out firing, they can win this ball game and end this 25-game losing streak that they are currently suffering through. Franklin and Marshall 3-4 on the season and 3-1 in the Centennial. Neither team was able to move the ball on the ground, but both had over 100 yards passing, and we'll have the complete first half statistics a little later on here in the first half. Well, let's take a look at some first half highlights. A beautiful day here, just a perfect afternoon for football here at Swarthmore in Delaware County, and the barbecues were fired up here on campus as Swarthmore got set to take on F&M. And on the first possession by Franklin and Marshall, this pass from Jamie Ottaviano to David McKenzie was a 44-yard pickup, and that set up Franklin and Marshall's one and only touchdown as Ottaviano sneaked over and Franklin and Marshall took the 7-0 lead in the first quarter. Swarthmore punted the ball away, and Franklin and Marshall, Jason Dobry moving the ball upfield. He is hit right there. The ball pops loose. Brian Burns on the big hit, recovered by Donovan Goodley, and Swarthmore got the ball back. Franklin and Marshall going for it on 4th down and 1, and another fumble, and Swarthmore recovers once again. Joe Corso recovers it, and another turnover. They had a total of 3 in the first half. Swarthmore's 5th possession of the game. This pass from J.P. Harris to Brian Bell was the only first down in the first quarter for Swarthmore. Swarthmore got the big play of the first half right there. The touchdown pass from Harris to Brian Bell down the near sideline, 64 yards. The game was tied at 7, and Swarthmore was fired up. Franklin and Marshall really had trouble holding on to the football today, keeping it. There's another turnover. That interception by John Bartner, the 3rd turnover in the first half by F&M. Franklin and Marshall moving the ball now on 4th and 1, the quarterback sneak. And here's the pass to Andy Gilbert down to the 2-yard line. Now Franklin and Marshall had the ball 1st down and goal, and they were unable to get in as they were stuffed on 4 plays, and the Swarthmore sideline erupted when the defense stopped the Diplomats on 4th down and goal, and that's where we stand here, 7-7 at the half. We still have plenty more ahead here at Swarthmore as the game is tied at 7.
After you start.
It is a beautiful day here on campus, and of course we still have an exciting second half of football to come. We're going to step aside for a break. We've got plenty more here in the halftime show. We've got out-of-town scores coming up next. We also have first half stats and some interviews here on the sideline. You're watching the ECAC Game of the Week on the Tri-State Media Network.
Franklin and Marshall College, maintaining a commitment to liberal arts education. For information, call the Office of Admission at 291-3953.
When you cover a breaking news story, you're covering a breaking news story.
Senator Kennedy has been shot.
I shall resign the presidency.
This is a big one.
He's riding the Kings. A building has been blown away.
Enough of
A living, vital, pictorial history.
Segregation forever.
It's a human life.
Tear down this wall.
I'm Mike Wallace, and this is the 20th century.
Weeknights at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, only on the History Channel.
Welcome back to Swarthmore College in Delaware County. Just a gorgeous day here for football, and we have yet another dandy to this point. Tied at 7 here at Swarthmore. The Garnet Tide trying to end a 25-game losing streak. That is our score here. Let's take a look at some other scores going on throughout the Centennial Conference and throughout the region as we've got our Tri-State Media scoreboard. Dickinson leading John Hopkins. Johns Hopkins at halftime, 7-0. And the Gettysburg Bullets leading Lebanon Valley by a score of 13-6 at the break. Muhlenberg and Ursinus, a scoreless tie in the second quarter of that one. at Ursinus. Western Maryland leading 9-3 over Salisbury State. That's a non-league matchup this afternoon. Green Terror unbeaten on the season. Maine is pounding Delaware as they pounded Villanova 26-7 at Delaware. What a weird season for the Maine Black Bears. Villanova leading Fordham 28-12 in the third quarter. These Division I AA games. Pennsylvania leading Yale at Franklin Field. Ivy League game 7-0. And Clarion on top of Westchester 27-21. That's a PSAC crossover meeting. Millersville slugging it out with Kutztown at University Field in Kutztown 7-0. The Marauders leading the Golden Bears. Mansfield and Cheney, a pair of winless teams. Cheney trying to break a long losing streak of their own. They are tied at 6 in the second quarter. And our final score has Widener and Kings tied at 7. So some other good games going on. Another surprising game with Maine and Delaware, and we'll have the final scores for you. What in the world is that bell? Let's go down to Bill Komisaroff and find out. Bill?
All right, thanks a lot, Greg. I'm here with Kathy and with Norman. We're standing next to the bell, as you've probably heard as you've been watching the first half. Exactly. First of all, Norman's going to tell us a little bit of the history of the bell.
Well, the history on the bell is that there was a ship called the Swarthmore. When it was scuttled, they salvaged the bell, and somebody, had it put on this thing, and it promptly got lost. It got put in deep salvage somewhere, and then we resurrected it this year, and it's now the parents' bell. And we hope to ring it loud, ring it often, and ring it hard.
All right, Kathy, why don't you go ahead and give it a ring? Come on. All right, the Swarthmore bell, you've heard it in the first half. Hopefully for these fans, we'll hear it a lot in the second half as our halftime score is 7-7. We're going to step aside and take a break. When we come back, we'll have our armchair quarterback segment. We'll get our fans' views of the first half of play. You're watching the ECAC Game of the Week. We'll be back in a moment.
Since 1938, the Eastern College Athletic Conference has been a resource for its members by providing over 100 championships along with awards, officiating, and important legislation. With 290 colleges and over 30 playing leagues, the nation's largest athletic conference creates an atmosphere where athletics and academics combine for a tradition of excellence. That's what students are looking for, parents can depend on, and athletes are proud to be a part of. ECAC, the Conference of Champions.
So we'll have a ridge of high pressure right here in the middle of the country, a trough of low pressure.
Friday's always like this?
West.
This place is nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Where are those guys over there?
Oh, they're here every Friday. They're huge Weekend Outlook fans. Oh, here we go.
Let's take a look at what's on tap for your weekend.
Come on, baby K. Stay cool, stay cool, stay cool.
Warm weather, come on. Hello, warm weather, right there. Who looks ridiculous now?
Yellowstone country.
And welcome back to halftime at Clothier Field. Our halftime score, Swarthmore 7, Franklin and Marshall 7. I'm Bill Komisaroff along with Greg Milligan and Bill Marshall. But joining me now are our armchair quarterbacks. If you remember our pregame show, we like to enlist the help of some of the fans. We were lucky enough to get Charlie and Steve. Both have sons who play for their respective football teams. Charlie, looking at the F&M side. You guys a little surprised there, Charlie?
Yeah, well, I sort of kind of expected it. I didn't think we'd play quite as bad as what we're playing. It's been tough running the ball again. It goes back to the trouble we've been having all year long. We can't hardly run the ball, and that doesn't bode well to open up the passing game.
Now on the Swarthmore side, Steve, boy, you guys were awfully excited with that big goal line stand at the end of the first half, weren't you?
Yeah, we sure were. That wouldn't have happened many more times, not in the last year especially. We couldn't have been any happier with the way the first half went.
As the first half was winding down, F&M was on a long drive that took up a big hunk of the clock. You were starting to get the feeling that the defense was wearing down a little bit, and then when they had first and goal, you're thinking, oh, here we go again?
Yeah, we've kind of been in the habit of wondering that. We're a smaller team, and we do get tired out. But they hung in there. They're opportunistic, and they just put in a lot of heart.
How about you guys over on the F&M side? A change at quarterback. Were you surprised to see that? We talked, I guess, during the pregame show, the quarterback situation has been sort of up for grabs, huh?
No, I was not. I thought they'd use both of them. I see Mike Higgins, the boy that got hurt earlier, is still trying to warm up and get his knee loosened up. But no, I did not expect them not to use both of the quarterbacks. Charlie's son, Greg, linebacker. How's Greg doing so far? Could be doing a little better. He was a little upset. Dad. He was a little upset. He missed one of the interceptions there. Ball bounced just away from him, but he wanted that pick. But the goal line stand right at the end of the first half was very big by Swarthmore.
And Steve's son, Josh, number 34, how's he doing?
Yeah, he's been having a solid half here so far. I'm sure he'd like to see the ball come toward him a little bit more to get a chance for a pickoff, but he's happy with how he's playing, I'm sure.
Now, both of you guys, fathers whose sons play football at tough academic schools, were you concerned at all with your kids playing football and having to concentrate both on athletics and academics?
Josh works hard at whatever he's working at, so it hasn't been too much of a struggle. It's hard, but he keeps putting himself into it.
How about you guys?
No, it seems that Greg, when he's playing a sport, he also plays baseball. His academics are a little better because he seems to bide out his time a little bit better and really concentrate on the study. So it's been a struggle for him, but it's been a hard and good struggle.
I understand Greg is a heck of a pitcher for the baseball team. Do you ever get worried when you see him out there on defense throwing that arm around?
No, we baseball's another season, and we just concentrate right now on football. And when this season's over, then we'll start working for baseball and worrying about baseball.
That's what the winter's for, right?
That's what the winter's for. When they come back after semester break, then we'll start worrying about baseball. But right now it's football.
Our halftime score is 7-7. We're talking with our armchair quarterbacks here at Clothier Field. The kiddies are getting ready for the Halloween parade. Now, it's got to be a pretty upbeat locker room, I would think, for Swarthmore. What are some of the things that you think Pete Alvanos is saying?
I think Coach Alvanos is saying, you had a good first half. We want to see a second half that looks the same. Keep your intensity up, rely on your stamina, and just keep your head focused in the game.
How about in the F&M side?
I think they've got to concentrate on offense. The offensive line knows it's in a ball game now. They've got to do their jobs. The defense has been playing very well, I think, except for the one long pass play on the fly down the sidelines. But other than that, the offense has got to contribute, especially when you get first and goal. I think that's the third first and goal in a row we've had that we haven't got any points out of. And we can't do that anymore.
Real quick, gentlemen, score prediction.
Well, that's a tough question.
I'll put you on the spot.
Yes, you are. How about 14-7?
Okay, he's not saying who's going to win. How about you? Score prediction.
I'll go with a 14-7 upset.
14-7 for one side, 14-7 for the other side. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at all the statistics from the first half, and we'll also get a chance to talk to Coach Tom Gilberg, too, as we get set to start the third quarter of play. It's halftime, and you're watching the ECAC Game of the Week. We'll be back with more in a moment.
It's time for hard-hitting, live, interactive college football on the Tri-State Media Network. Every Saturday afternoon, you can connect with your favorite local college team. And hey, Armchair Quarterback, you can call in or email live and be a part of the game day coverage. Enter a contest to be the second color analyst live on the phone. Call area code 610-466-1593 for more information. Check your local listings for times and channels. Live, interactive college football only on the Tri-State Media Network.
Got anything to eat? Humming. Where's your mom? Working late again. You want to watch TV? Okay. Something really good on it. Yeah? What is this? It's not working. Oh, that? It's working. Now it's working. I don't know. What do you want?
Today's ECAC Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by Tri-State Media Incorporated, exclusively on Suburban Cable.
Back here at Swarthmore, let's go down to Bill Komisaroff with Franklin and Marshall head coach Tom Gilberg.
Thank you very much, Greg. I'm here with Coach Gilberg. Coach, what was the mood in the locker room at halftime?
Well, we have to get going. We let a lot of things slip away from us. We fumbled the ball, interceptions, and we gave them a big play, and that's the name of the game. And we have to get busy.
You feel like you have a bit of a sleeping lion across the field that you were hoping to put away early?
Well, we know Swarthmore comes to play, and they play. It doesn't surprise us, and we told our players this is what would happen if we didn't get mentally prepared to play.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Coach Tom Gilberg, not real happy with his team's performance. This game is tied at 7. We are going to step aside and take a break. When we come back, we'll have all the stats of the first half and the start of the second half from Swarthmore College. Our halftime score, we're tied at 7. We'll be back with more of the ECAC Game of the Week right after this.
Since 1938, the Eastern College Athletic Conference has been a resource for its members by providing over 100 championships along with awards, officiating, and important legislation. With 290 colleges and over 30 playing leagues, the nation's largest athletic conference creates an atmosphere where athletics and academics combine for a tradition of excellence. That's what students are looking for, parents can depend on, and athletes are proud to be a part of. ECAC, the Conference of Champions.
So we'll have a ridge of high pressure right here in the middle of the country, a trough of low pressure.
Friday's always like this?
West.
This place is nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Who are those guys over there?
Oh, they're here every Friday. They're huge Weekend Outlook fans. Oh, here we go.
Let's take a look at what's on tap for your weekend.
Come on, baby Kate. Stay cool. Stay cool. Stay cool.
Warm weather coming in. Hello, warm weather. Right there. Who looks ridiculous now?
Yellowstone country.
Teams back on the sideline as we get set to start our second half. Let's take a look at the first half statistics. As you see, Brian Bell, number 1, he scored Swarthmore's only touchdown thrown by that man, number 12, J.P. Harris. Your first half stats, Swarthmore just 8 yards rushing, 108 passing, and 64 of that coming on one play. 116 total yards, 1 turnover. Actually, they had 0 turnovers, and F&M had 3. 2 penalties for Swarthmore, and time of possession almost even. F&M with 39 yards rushing, 148 passing, 187 total yards. So neither team able to move the ball on the ground, both some success through the air, and really the story, the 3 turnovers by F&M and the big defensive stop by Swarthmore just before halftime. Well, we are about set for the start of our second half. Swarthmore sideline is fired up and energized by the fact that they are tied at 7. Last week, a 38-0 loss. The week before, a 41-6 loss. So this Swarthmore team is hungry for a victory. They have not won here since November of 1995.
Greg, this is a classic example of why you play each week, because Swarthmore lost to Dickinson 38-0. 2 weeks ago, F&M defeated Dickinson 26-23 on the road. Now you look at those scores and you make comparisons, you think, gee, there's no way the Swarthmore can be in this game, and yet here they are, 7-7, and they got F&M back on their heels. It's a credit to their coaching staff that they've been able to get their kids to believe in the system and play hard.
Now Mike Higgins on the far sideline is trying to loosen up, and word is he might try to go here in the second half. We'll have to wait and see as Dobry takes the opening kick out to the 38-yard line. And indeed, it will be Mike Higgins to start this second half on offense at quarterback for Franklin and Marshall.
Hey, Charlie Ellis made a saving tackle there. If 81 doesn't bring Dobry down, he might have been gone.
So Mike Higgins, there he is, number 3 for the Diplomats, back in the game.
Boy, this is a surprise. He had a reasonably severe knee injury 3 weeks ago, and I thought he might be gone for the year. So this is truly a surprise.
We'll see if he can energize this F&M offense. First down, Higgins will throw, and it's complete to Nate Schmidt for just a few, maybe about 4. And it will be second down as the third quarter is underway. Fabiano in that first half was 5 of 11 with a touchdown, and Meehan was 4 for 9.
A little note on Mike Higgins. He's from Mount Carmel, Pennsylvania. He never lost a game in high school and started every game from his freshman year on. And after this season, he'll be going to optometrist school.
And Mount Carmel is a good football program in Pennsylvania. Second down. Give it to Romano, or was that McGall?
That
might have been McGall. Okay, so it's third down as McGall picks up just a yard or 2. And he had the longest run from scrimmage in the first half for F&M, 13 yards.
I'm surprised that F&M hasn't gone back to their option game. Early in the first half, the option game worked with some success, and they seemed to discard it in the second quarter. Of course, it's always easy to coach from the press box.
That's right. 3rd down and 3 for the Diplomats. Play action. Higgins looks, throws, and Gilbert can't hold on. The throw is a little short. And it will be 4th down, and F&M will punt it away. Gilbert was open. The throw just a little short.
A little short. Once you've got your body in motion, it's very difficult to hold it back and wait for the ball.
Take a look. Gilbert had running room, and the throw, again, just a little short. And now Gilbert will punt it away as Bell and Tutel back deep. That's a beauty. It might be even too far. And it will skip into the end zone for the touchback. 1st down and 10 for Swarthmore at their own 20-yard line. Again, we encourage you to give us a call. Our phone number is 1-800-766-2420. What are your keys to the second half here as the shadows begin to creep across the field at Swarthmore Clothier Field, coming to you live today on the Tri-State Media Network.
I would suspect that in the halftime locker room talks, the F&M defenders talked about how to contain Brian Bell and Mason Tutel. Bell scored the touchdown on that long reception, so I would suspect they'll be keeping an eye on them pretty closely.
Joe Alefi had good success in his 2 carries. He picked up 17 yards. Going deep for Goodley. The pass is complete on the far sideline. And he's down to the 48-yard line. And a pickup of 32 yards.
That is the first time all game that Swarthmore has gone to a halfback out of the backfield. They've gone to their wide receivers and ends, but this is the first time they've gone to the running back, and it caught F&M by surprise.
Harris was 6 of 11 in that first half for 105 yards and a touchdown. And he starts out here with a 34-yard pass to his tailback Goodley. 1st down at the F&M 46. Harris to throw again. That one is incomplete.
Harris is intended for Charlie Ellis, is incomplete.
Had a little bit of pressure there from number 39, Sean Flynn, a linebacker. He came in with his hands up, and it caused the quarterback to have to throw the ball a little quicker than he wanted to.
See the ball bouncing away, incomplete.
Boy, talk about a momentum builder. If Swarthmore can take this ball down the field and come away with some points, either a field goal or a touchdown, it would certainly put the pressure on the F&M team to respond.
Absolutely. And the Swarthmore defense would be flying. Coming back out. Goodley on the carry. And he picks up a couple. It will be 3rd down. Warshall took the ball away, and Goodley slow to get up. He was bent back and maybe shaken up.
I think Greg Shambo made the tackle on that play.
It looked like, watch the end of the play here, it looks like his legs are caught underneath the pile and he's pushed backward. Just behind that shot. You see Warshall taking the ball out, but after the play had been blown dead. Well, why don't we step aside for a break as they attend to Goodley for the 2nd time today. We've got 12 minutes and 17 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. It is 7-7, Franklin and Marshall and Swarthmore, and we'll step aside. You're watching the ECAC Game of the Week on the Tri-State Media Network.
Founded in 1864 by the Religious Society of Friends, Swarthmore today is non-sectarian, yet still reflects many Quaker traditional values. It is a school where students are challenged not just to excel intellectually and academically, but also to equip themselves to help build a better society. Students enjoy not only a superb academic experience, but also one of the most beautiful college campuses in the country.
Back here in the beautiful campus of Swarthmore College, and Donovan Goodley up and walking off, this time under his own power, although he's hobbling.
As I was looking at the 2 rosters of these teams to show you that both colleges are really national colleges, they have players on the 2 rosters from 24 different states. So people are coming to Franklin and Marshall and Swarthmore for academic reasons, but also to participate in football from all over the country.
Donovan Goodley is from the Newark Academy and grew up in Montclair, New Jersey. And we will be in Montclair, New Jersey in 2 weeks when the Rowan Profs go up to visit the Red Hawks of Montclair. Now we've got a timeout as Swarthmore not sure about the play call. So J.P. Harris will
First
head to
time
the
out
sideline.
for the second half.
Incidentally, we do want to mention this. I don't know if we've mentioned this to this point. This is our 7th ECAC Game of the Week broadcast this year on the Tri-State Media Network. And at this point, all 6 of the previous home teams have won. So Swarthmore trying to continue that trend here this afternoon, as they would be the 7th home team in a row to win on the Tri-State Media Network ECAC Game of the Week. Well, once again, the training staff attending to the legs of Donovan Goodley. If you'll recall, in the first half, Goodley had some ice taped onto his knee, or just above his knee, the left knee. This time it's the right leg.
I know teams are always interested in establishing records and conference records, and Swarthmore, if they were to lose today, would come very close to establishing a new Centennial Conference record, which I'm sure they wouldn't really be happy about.
There is Donovan Goodley. Goodley getting some attention on the sideline. Another freshman on this Swarthmore team. 3rd down and 7. With 12 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Harris under pressure, throws it out. It's complete to Ellis, and he'll be close to the first down, short by about a yard. What a good job by Harris in the teeth of pressure. John Green was bearing down hard, and he got it out to Ellis.
And Britton Busby was the defender to make the tackle. And either it's 4th down and short, I guess it is, on the 37-yard line. This is a big play.
Saw
Very
Harris
large
in the,
play.
Excuse me, Bill. You saw Harris in the background take the hit as he released. 4th down and inches. You would think you'd see J.P. Harris on the sneak here. 4th and inches. Going to give it to the big fullback, Prince Hakeem. And I think he got it with forward progress. Let's see.